Hi everyone, welcome back to HowTechs. Today we have the PlayStation VR headset, and let's do a quick unboxing to see what's inside. So first of all, this is not the launch edition, this is just the regular edition, so it does not come with the camera bar, so you need one of these, and it also does not come with the move wands, which are also included in the launch edition, so you have to have those for certain games, but this one you need for anything. So if you're going to use this VR headset, you need to get one of these, and obviously you need a PS4, and I think PS4 Pro, PS4 should work with all of them. So in the box we just have the headset, obviously cables, processor unit, headphones, HDMI cable, USB adapter, and it does come with one demo disc with some games on there, playable demos, and then lens cleaning cloth printed materials. Okay, so that's what's on the box. Also included in here, it tells you a little bit about some of the popular games. So there's the Batman Arkham VR and some other PlayStation Worlds Farpoint, yada yada yada. Okay, great. So for some reason this one is in English and in French. So let's pop this guy open, get our knife. So unfortunately we don't have the PlayStation 4 set up here, so we'll just take a look inside the box, but we won't actually do any demonstrations, which I think will be a little bit hard to do without being able to see the screen. But let's just take a look at the contents anyway. So we have a inner box with a plastic strip, and the box itself has the PlayStation logo. It's facing the other way right now. So let's try lifting this guy up. There we go. There's a lot of stuff in here. Okay. Move the box out of the way. And so now we basically have a plastic strap around the inner box. Take that off. And this should open up diagonally. So let's try it this way. Oh, and it actually has like a strap to keep this diagonal thing from opening all the way. Okay, so we have a book, quick start guide here on top, and take this out, and we have a couple different sections on the box. Let's start in the center, and I guess it's that you can sort of see which everyone is. So maybe power, this is the power brick, headphones, controller box. Okay, so let's start with this guy. And we just have a not so sexy power cord. And let's take this corner up. This one's a little bit more substantial. Wow, it's really chock full of stuff. So that's how it actually came from the factory, overloaded. So we have a USB to mini USB cable. We have instruction manual, so I guess this is not the quick start but the details. We have a pair of earbuds. This is actually for the 3D sounds that come from the VR, and you can use your own headphones. And now we have, let's see, get this guy first. This is the power brick, the one that plugs into the power cable. And this is what powers the controller. And then here we have the control box itself. So this is the one that actually does the visual processing before it gets sent into the headset. So by basically putting the weight in here, it's not on your head, which is actually a pretty good idea. And as you can see, there's actually, it's not too big, it's not too heavy, but it's sizable. It looks like there's actually a fan in here so that it can cool it off. So, you know, imagine if you built this into the headset, it would be a lot heavier and a lot use a lot of extra cables and whatnot, so it's best that they don't have that. So basically we have the 12 volts in, we have a USB cable connector, and then here we have two HDMI ports, one to connect to the PS4 itself, and then you can actually output to a TV. So you can actually, if you have, say, friends over watching you, you know, you're with a group of people and you want the people to be able to see what you're seeing through the headset, or maybe you're doing a screencast or other things, this can actually output to the TV so that people can see what you're seeing through the output of this one, which is actually to the headset. And I noticed this thing actually slides in and out. Not sure exactly why it needs to do that, but it does. So that's the box. Sony. I assume it probably lights up too when it's powered on. But that's the basics. And so now let's delve further. Okay, so now we have our third piece, which is actually also kind of diagonally in there, and this is the, I guess the whole headset is in here. So let's pull this guy out. It comes out in one piece. If you guys can see this. So the cables and all that are sort of wedged in here. So let's look at these. So this is the cleaning cloth to clean off the screens if you stick your fingerprints on there accidentally. We have the HDMI cable. So this should be to connect the control box to the headset and or to connect to your TV. And then here we have, this should be the one that goes, I'm not even going to try to take that off, but this should actually be the one that goes to the PS4 itself. Cable number 4. Okay, and so these guys actually plug into here, if I had to guess. Okay, so this is probably the most important cable and the one that you end up dragging around connected to your headset. Let's keep going. Okay, so take off the cardboard. Good luck trying to get that back in. And here's the headset itself, nicely wrapped up. And before we unwrap that, let's see what else is left in the box. Pretty much nothing except for our demo disc. And the demo disc locks in there on the right side. So the demo disc comes with, I think it's 18 playable demos. And not such an exciting box design, but here we have at least 9. Okay, launch edition comes with more games, but this one has 9. So we have Valkyrie, Drive Club VR, Riggs Mechanized Combat League, Headmaster, which I guess is a soccer thing, Wayward Sky, Tumble VR, PlayStation VR Worlds. I think this is just like a demo of the graphics, and Rush of Blood, and Until Dawn, Rush of Blood, and Battlezone. So if you see some of the trailers online, these actually look pretty cool, and I would love to try some of these out. So maybe after this video is done, I'll go down and connect it to the PS4. So again, it reminds you that both the VR and the PlayStation camera are required to play these games. So they're not for the regular PS4 without VR. And of course you want to be careful because there's apparently partial nudity and sexual themes. I don't know which game has the sexual themes and the partial nudity, but interesting. And someone's smoking in there too. So, okay, so these are the games. Let's take a look at the headset itself. Okay, so here we are. And it's not that heavy, actually the weight is pretty good. Just one cable connects in, and this is the one that carries all your audio and video signal in from the PlayStation, and we have those connectors on here. And now we have some controls, so obviously power on and off, mute the microphone, so this actually has a mic in it as well, for, you know, network games, and volume up and down, as well as this is where you connect the headphone jack in for the earbuds with the 3D sound. So that's basically the controls, and then obviously plugs into that control box. And now let's take a look at the headset itself. So first of all, from the top we have a adjustable headband tensioner here. You push and then you can ratchet it in and out. So we have some nice padding on the insides, on the forehead as well as on the back of the head. so that it's hopefully not too uncomfortable to wear. And then let's take a look at the eyepiece itself. So this is actually a nice soft plastic, kind of like you would find on like a diving mask, but not quite as rigid. And then there's also this to cover your nose, so I guess that's really good for keeping the ambient light out, so if you're not in the dark when you're playing this, you don't get distracted with a lot of external light. And so that's the basics of this. This particular headset has, I think, 1920 by 1080p resolution on both eyes, so it's basically split 960 and 960, but basically it's 1080p resolution, which is not the highest for a VR console out there right now. I think the Oculus Rift and the Gear VR are actually higher resolution, but in this case it has very good integration with the PS4, and the frame rate is actually one of the key things that this apparently does pretty well at. So although you will notice the resolution isn't as sharp, as long as the gameplay delivered is at a good frame rate, most people find it actually pretty enjoyable. So let's take a look at the front end as well. So apparently these guys light up, so these kind of translucent plastic things here, and this is actually what the camera, the PlayStation camera bar uses to recognize your position and also the movement of your head. So it can get sort of an absolute position where you are relative, you know, if you're sort of weaving left and right, for example, and also the orientation of your head. So it's maybe, in addition to having accelerometers, it's also using some lights along with the wands that you have to tell the position of your body, tell the position of your hands. So that's actually pretty cool. So this plastic liner here is actually removable if you just pop these small tabs out, and you can actually remove this whole thing and wash it. So I guess, you know, if you let your friend use it and he's got a really greasy face, you want to give this thing a good rinse, you can do that. And then you can also, while you have it out, wipe out the surfaces, and also gives you a good chance to see sort of what this thing looks like on the inside. And then so these PlayStation controller symbols aren't actually buttons or anything, they're just to tell you where these tabs are supposed to go, so you can click them in. And so there's basically just a small speaker hole and this adjustment, and this, if you haven't seen it yet, can be used to adjust the headband position relative to the goggles. So you can basically put it on and then slide them in all the way till you know, it touches your glasses or the bridge of your nose or end of your nose, depending on how your face is shaped. So that's pretty cool. That's basically it for the PlayStation VR headset. I'm eager to try this out. Unfortunately, we can't demonstrate it all in the video, but the reviews have been pretty good so far. Aside from the screen resolution being a little bit lower than some of the competitors, the weight actually compares favorably with some of the other VR headsets out there. And also, of course, it's the gameplay. So having the wands, having the PlayStation developers making PlayStation games specifically for this is kind of an advantage, and it'll only get better as more games are released. So we're really looking forward to trying this out. If you have any questions about the PlayStation VR, please leave a comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to check out our other how-to videos for many popular personal electronics here on HowTechs. Thanks, and see you next time. One other tip, I found that if you press this, the button, it'll actually pause it. So if you're in the middle of a conversation, your phone is somewhere else, you just want to mute it.